how's it going? Jasper here. I also go by nomocodes on the internet, and I'm currently an indie hacker solo founder based in Tokyo, Japan. And today I'm excited to show you mixbash, which is a better UI layer to use AI models offered on Replicate, Fowl, Pollinations, Runpod, and Gemini. If you're not familiar with all these platforms that I have mentioned, just so you know that, a lot of the AI apps out there, AI tools out there, are built on one of these platforms. These are more developer-focused platforms where they hosted all the state-of-art models on there, so developers can use their endpoints to build apps on top of it. They also do offer like form-style UI for you to actually try out, play around with the models on the platforms, but they're not built like a creative tool. They are for developers. And that's why I have built these canvas-style UI for you to organize, to view your generation results on a single canvas UI. And you'll also be able to use the output of one model as an input for another model. So you can really get creative with how you use these models together. And the benefit of using one of these model providers is you actually directly go into the source and paying the factory price for AI generation, rather than paying hefty premiums offered by other AI apps. Once you actually start learning about how much each generation actually costs, you realize you are paying at least 10x for model generations offered by other platforms. But that's okay, because those other platforms definitely do offer utility features on top of it, so they are charging you a premium. But if you want to save cost, but still explore state-of-art AI models, I think using mixbash along with these model providers is definitely a good choice. Give it a go. Now, let me switch to my screen. I will give you a walkthrough on how to get started, and I'll walk you guys through all the key features that mixbash offers.
All right, welcome to my screen. This is mixbash, the landing page. Basically what I've explained in the intro. And here are the key features. Simple pricing. You can absolutely get started for free. You don't even need an API key, because I do offer Pollinations API for free. I do have a affordable paid tier that basically unlocks unlimited access to canvases and blocks, and also you building workflows with different endpoints by chaining different endpoints. You can also add new Replicate or Fowl endpoints that I have not covered now with AI Assistant. I also do have a lifetime plan for the current preview version, so you'll be supporting me early. And if you also want to build your own AI apps or workflows for your team, for your business, for your own use cases, feel free to chat with me. I'm very happy to help you build it, or at least see how I can help. So let's get right into it. Get started for free. So once you're on the mixbash UI, the platforms, initially you will be shown to add your own API keys in. That's in your profile as settings. I have basically provided all the links for you to get the endpoints, so you can go grab them. With Runpod, I do recommend you actually use my link to do the refer and earn, so we both can earn credits. So yeah. So all of these platforms basically require you to add some sort of credit initially, which I'm personally fine with, because I do like the pay per usage kind of model, rather than sending me a bill. So yeah, and with Pollination, it is completely for free. The reason why you want to add your own API keys for Pollination is because you want to bypass the rate limit. If you're not using your own API key, you're using my key, sometimes the generation will fail because it will get too busy. So without further ado, let's get right into the canvas side. So initially, once you create a canvas, a new canvas called canvas 3, it will be empty. But what you can do is, for example, let me go to a previous canvas. I can copy like one of the image. You can easily just paste your own images in, right? You can also paste from your laptop, your browser, anywhere. You can paste from your clipboard and bring your own images in. You can also paste videos in. And once you're in, you are currently on a infinite canvas style UI, but you can also switch to a grid UI. I will show you with my own canvas. So I have a bunch of things, right? So now this is the grid UI. So everything is neatly organized, but you can also use the free canvas UI to move things around, to organize it your way. And the main interface will be these. These will be minimized when you're moving around the canvas, want to view it, but once you hover over it, you'll be able to see a universal generation command center, basically.
And there are a couple categories that you can change to: generate, edit image, generate video, edit video, generate 3D, text, upscale, generate speech, music, background remove. With background remove, these are basically different endpoints that you can use, but I do offer, my built-in background remove. Once you click on a block, you can use this button. These does not require any API keys. This is built-in and is unlimited. But if the built-in one, the result is not good, you can also try different endpoints for background remove if you want to. So yeah, you can switch category here, and then you can switch to different platforms. And once you're in the right category and platform, you can now search, the model that you want to use. And I'll also label the cost, so you know exactly how much that's gonna cost. And once you have selected the model, input your prompt. For example, let me do astronaut. And you can select how many you want to generate. Let's say 2. You can select the aspect ratio. Let's say 9:16. Seed, you can leave it random. Append text block. Basically, you can, if you have like some sort of text on your canvas that you want to append to these prompt, you can do that. I sometimes use text block to save like prompts, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to, because we do have like prompt wizard to help you populate prompt with style, or you can even upload a image as a style extractor. So basically, based on the image, I'm gonna help you generate the prompt for you. Also, you can use this form. Basically, it's a very structured guide to help you structure your prompt, to help you brainstorm the prompt as well. So you can do whichever way you want to. For example, let me choose these. It's already configured, and you can go generate, and then now you'll be having 2 generation blocks that just came back from that style prompt. Yeah. And once you click on a previously generated result, like a block, right, you'll be able to see these special UI that you can see the inputs that you have used. You can reuse the input, basically populates the generate input again, but sometimes but the seed will also be inherited. So if you want another random generation, you better leave it empty. What you can also do, I do offer utility features. For example, you can quickly do edit, and my default is set to nano banana, so I can, let's say, change the person into a male, and then I can easily quickly do an edit with a different model. Or what you can do is you can make a video very quickly based on this image, right? And I do have a default here, but you can also choose whatever model that you want to use to make a video as well. So it just came back with my new edit, which is pretty awesome. Nano Banana is awesome. Yep. You can also make 3D model based on this image. You can choose different 3D model endpoints for you to basically use that model to generate 3D. So these are like kind of shortcuts for you to quickly go select the right model, the right generation type very easily. You can also crop the image however you want, and then save the crop, and you show up on your canvas. What you can also do, I've already shown the remove background, but I'm going to show it again. You can also do upscale. That basically uses one of these upscale endpoints. You can also change to different, platforms for different upscale endpoints of your choice. You can also create mask very easily. So mask is used if you want to do in-painting or out-painting. And then once you add that, it will create a mask for you, and then you can use it as input for mask for models where a mask is required. You can also do the annotation mode, which basically help you kind of, use different color to help guide editing models like Gemini. Sometimes you can circle something and say, change the circle red part to something else. That can guide the AI to edit the right part of your image. So these are all utility features that you can easily access from this Canvas UI.
So for example, I generated this video based on these, for example, based on this image. This image. So you can really easily use like generation results from one model to as an input for another model, and that's very common for first generating the keyframes for your video and then use that as the start frame for video generation, right? So yeah, this is and you can also generate 3D by pressing space. You basically enter full screen mode for different for all the medias that you have. You also have you can also generate
the quiet between minutes
audio, and you also be able to generate text that you can edit later. So yeah, this is a very quick walkthrough of the UI, the Canvas UI that you will mainly be interacting with. What else? So you'll be able to create multiple canvases and with unlimited blocks if you are a paid user. And you'll also be able to access mini apps, which are apps that created based on a workflow that you have made. This is too simple of a workflow, but I can do a 3D generation workflow. For example, the start, we collect users' prompt. What do you want to generate, right? And these, once users start, we will first use a pollination flux model to generate the concept image. I have pre-populated the prompt, and then we were gonna append users' input here as part of the prompt as well. And then we'll basically generate the concept image. And then we'll ask user to confirm if they want to continue. If not, they can retry this generation until they're happy. And once they're happy, they confirm. We use NanoBanana to generate the back view of that concept, and generate the side view of that concept, and ask them to confirm again. If they confirm, we're going to use Trellis to generate the final 3D model. So that's the workflow. I can give it a quick go. Chibi basketball player, and we can run it. And it will first generate the 3D concept image for a chibi basketball player. And once that's done, it should ask me, do you want to generate the back and side view? And then we can say continue. And that basically runs through the NanoBanana twice. One to generate back view, one to generate the side view. And now the back view just came back. Look at that. Pretty awesome. And then now we're just waiting for the side view for the model. And now the side view just came back. That looks pretty awesome. And I'm really happy with the concept. And then now we can start generating 3D models. And there we go. The 3D model is back. Look at that. You can download the model like that here. Yep. And you can also run it again if you want to. That'll basically start another run through. Or you can also change the prompt and then run it again. And you can always come back to the previous result, So yeah, this is a mini app that is it is a paid feature. I do have a bunch of examples that you can clone right away. So yeah, mini apps are great if you know the workflow. For example, you have explored enough on your canvas and you know the workflow, and you can turn that into a very friendly UI, like a very simple UI to help you run that workflow repeatedly. So it's great for use cases that you want to run repeatedly. So yeah, this is mini apps, and we do have a models tab that you can see all the models. And if you're a paid user, you'll be able to add new models from on replicate or file with AI assistant. That basically turns the content, turn that model endpoint schema or input output to a system that our platform recognizes that we can hook it up for you. And what else? So basically all of these utility functions, for example, edit, it will turn into nano. It will quickly just set it to NanoBanana and also help you attach the image. All of these model selection you can actually change. So to action preferences. I'm currently using system defaults, but you can easily switch to endpoints that you want to use for image edit as a default, make video as a default. So you can easily change them here. And you'll be able to see all the medias across your canvases on the library side as well.
And there you have it. This is all the features that mixbash offers. And if you're already a replicate file or these model endpoint platform users, if you're a developer but you do want a better UI, definitely give mixbash a try. All you have to do is bring your API keys in. My name is Jasper. I'm currently an indie hacker, solo founder based in Tokyo, Japan. Until next time, ciao.